Okay, everybody, this is it. This is what you've all been waiting for, probably, with Ocarina of Time, especially with such a refined emulator such as this. So, there's a few things I need to say before I start up, is that there are a few settings that you can attach to with the Ocarina of Time to tell just how big of a randomized adventure that you want. So, I want to put this into perspective here because Ocarina of Time is labeled as being one of the easier games of the series, so I'm going to let you know just how scary this randomizer is going to be right now. So, one of the options that you can do is that you can open up the forest at the beginning of the game. You know that guy that kind of blocks your way out of Kokiri Forest? You can have the randomizer adjust around whether you want to open that place from the get-go or not, and I did. I'll tell you why this is important in a second. The second thing I did on the settings is that the Door of Time, you know that place in the Temple of Time in order to become an adult, I opened that from the get-go too. So I don't need spiritual stones or anything to help me to become an adult. So I want to put this into perspective, just how randomized this is. So because all of the items have been scattered around with random chests, with the store owners, or anywhere where you can pretty much find a specific item, it's all randomized. So since the forest is open from the get-go, and since the Temple of Time is open from the get-go, that means the Kokiri Sword, the very first item that we need, it can be anywhere in the world, in the entire place of Hyrule, as a kid and as an adult. So I hope you know what that means, is that it could easily be, no actually it could not easily be, but it could be in the Kokiri Forest from the get-go, it could be in the Fire Temple, it could be in the Water Temple, it could be in the Spirit Temple. So I could find the Kokiri Sword at any time. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to get right into this, but this is how big the scope of the project is going to be. So there's like 500 like different chests and different places you can scan for in order to get specific items. So any of the essential items I need, just as a kid and as an adult. So any of the places, sorry, it kind of like paused it there for some weird reason. So anyways, you might have noticed just right now, just as I got out, is that the cutscene didn't play. And that's one of the nice things about the randomizer, is that it doesn't show any cutscenes or any bullcrap or anything. You can skip all the dialogue and stuff in order to get right into it. So as I said, this is how scary that this is going to be. So as I said, I played this before. I tried it out just for probably about a third of the way through. I want to get the full scope of how big this emulator is so I could tell it to you guys. So I found the Megaton Hammer in the Great Deku Tree. And do you want to know where I found the Kokiri Sword eventually? After about 2 or 3 hours or so, I found it in the bottom of the well, in a random chest that's kind of off to the side, not when you fight that big guy. So it could essentially be anywhere. And I couldn't complete the Great Deku Tree because I couldn't get the slingshot for the longest time. And you want to know where I found that? I found that in the bottom of the well too. So you see, this emulator, this randomized stuff is going to get nasty. So it could be anything. Look at what I got. The very first item that I got in the game is a silver scale. So I found that. So yeah, so you're going to have to improvise and stuff with weapons like as a kid in order to make some decent progress. So usually what I do is Deku Sticks and such, but there's going to be a lot of backtracking too because, well, you need some essential items more than others in order to complete some dungeons. Like for example, with the Forest Temple, you need the hook shot in order to get into the temple. You need the bow in order to snipe some of those eye things. You see where this is going is that you need to kind of like put on a Scooby-Doo Incorporated kind of cap when it comes to this kind of game. It's because you got to go off of leads in order to find the essential items that you need, and if you don't get them, then you have to keep on looking at your different leads and your different options in order to keep on progressing in this game. And the good news is that this is developed well enough. I think it's in the 2.0 at the moment, so it's past the beta now. So what this means is that this won't end up being a dead run or anything where it's not impossible or anything in order to beat the game. So that's a very good news to hear. And look at this. I got the Hylian shield, which will be nice because I'm going to need a shield. Okay, so I found pieces of heart, and this is where things are going to get rather interesting when checking out these random chests. Oh, it actually just happened right here. It's because you have to remember that there are a lot of pieces of hearts when it comes to Ocarina of Time. So what that means is that there are more chances of me to pick up more trivial items like the heart containers and the pieces of hearts, because there's a total of 20 hearts in Ocarina of Time. So you saw right there, I picked up one of the pieces of hearts, and then there's something called bloopies. That's kind of the term that's getting thrown around with this Ocarina of Time randomizer. It's because so many items have been like randomized around the game world that you actually pick up more blue rupees in a random chest more than anything else. So you could work like super hard in order to get a rare or specific item, but all you could really get in the end is just a heart. Like, like you pick up one heart in order to recover your health a little bit. That has happened to me quite a bit, is that I dove in quite a bit in order to well, you'd think that you'd be rewarded like splendidly, like for your efforts, but you don't sometimes. So that's actually pretty funny. So anyways, I passed the thing like with Mido and things, so you could like head right into the Great Deku Tree, but I still need the slingshot in order to pass this dungeon. You see where things are getting interesting. So I have no weapons or anything that I can fight these guys, so I could probably pick up some Deku Sticks, but I'll probably do that later. So I'm going to check out a few of the random chests here in the Great Deku Tree. Hopefully that will get me a lead or something I could do in order to progress in this game. Because as I said, a lot of backtracking. There's going to be a lot of backtracking to make sure you get the essential items you need to pass each of the dungeons. And I said it so that I have to pass every single dungeon, both the spiritual stones and the medallions, in order to get into Ganon's tower. So you see, we got to duke this out all the way. So this here right here in the dungeons is that the map and the compass have been randomized in their own dungeons. So we don't have to... So you see, I got blue-peed again. So I think that's the third time I got blue-peed. But yeah, this is a very real thing that's about to happen here, and this is probably what's gonna like cause the playthrough to go. Yeah, it could extend longer than it needs to, because I could run out of leads, or I got to think really hard to think about that trivial chest or something that I got to find in that secret hole, or yeah, it gets that real. So like any random chest you can find, like in a hole in Hyrule Field or something, that could very well lead to a very essential item, or it could be really nothing. So yeah, that's what's scary about this. There's no way I'm going to go on to that, because there's no way I can exit the room if I don't have the slingshot. So I'm going to ignore that for now, and hopefully this will give me a good item. But let's check it out. And I got frozen. Yeah, so far in things, like the only significant item I got so far was the silver scale. So that'll help me to get into Zora's domain, so that's a start. See, I got another piece of heart. So you see, I'm getting nothing. So this is actually a pretty bad run to start with, is because I just got blue-peed and just got a few pieces of heart. So no slingshot, no anything, no essential items. So I'm done checking up into here, and I can climb the wall in order to get to the Skulltulas, but well, I could try it, but well, it's kind of like if you remember with the Forest Temple that you have to get around this. Let's see if I can get lucky. Hopefully I can. Okay. Come on, don't look, don't, oh! Yep, that will happen. And I didn't think that he'd actually look up that far and get me, but I guess he did. Okay. Alright, so nothing I can do there. Alright, so I'm out of leads with the Great Deku Tree, so... Yep, this is a very real phenomenon that's happening right here and right now. And my tunic also as well, you might have noticed is also blue, is that I randomized all of the tunic's colors. So the Kokiri tunic is a little bit darker blue shade than what the water or the Zora tunic actually is. So let's see, I think I actually got all of the random chests I could from right here. The only thing I can actually think of is going into the Deku Woods, and probably going to that salesman with the... Well, let's see. I don't know. I'll probably come back to that later, probably, but... Yep, so, yep, the forest is opened up. So, the good news is that they do give you some essential items in order to progress. So, I get the Fairy Ocarina right here, what you're supposed to do from Soraya. But the songs... just to let you know, are randomized. Like the song locations of where you usually get the songs are all randomized. So I could get Soraya's song instead of Zelda's Lullaby in the castle, or I could get the Prelude of Light when I go in to get Epina's song. So yeah, that part has to be accounted for as well. Okay, so I got nothing there. Let's see. Yeah, again, and things like I got no leads, I got no weapons, I got no items except for the silver scale, but that's miles away from me, so I don't want to go after the Zora's domain yet. But yeah, especially compared to my last run, like I think I've gotten like so many trivial items in the Kokiri Forest than what I did last time. So this run is actually turning out to be really bad at the moment. Okay, so so far so good though. Okay, so what do I want to do? Do I want to go after Zelda's Lullaby? Huh. I don't know. That's a good question. So I'm actually going to let it be nightfall. You remember that dog that kind of comes out into the marketplace at nighttime? I want to get him. Well, hold on for a second. I want to get the egg first, though, too, because when you get the egg from Malin, you can use that to wake up Talon in front of the castle. So I'll probably go do that first. But once it becomes nighttime, then I'm going to go get Richard. I remember. It's the dog's name. Let's see. First, I got to talk to her. Okay, so, yeah, that's the good news, is that you can pass the cutscenes really quick. So, here we go, into here. First, I got to get the egg. Oh, crap. And I was thinking about the golden Skulltula right there, at that tree. But the problem is I don't have a sword or any weapon to take it down, so that's not going to help. But you do need gold Skulltulas, by the way. You need a... Thankfully, though, you don't need all 100 golden Skulltulas in order to complete the run, because it'll just give you 200 rupees like it's supposed to. But on some seeds, though, it is required that you get up to 50 golden Skulltulas in order to complete the game, so you can get the essential items from there. So I do have to be looking out for golden Skulltulas, and thankfully those haven't been randomized. There are some things that it would just be too cruel to randomize, and thankfully the golden Skulltula locations are not changed, so I'm actually really grateful for that. Okay, so first thing is that I got the egg, which was what I wanted in order to get into the castle, and hopefully I can learn a good song from the castle. But let's see, I gotta wait for it to be nightfall first. I want to go get Richard and bring him home, because that's a lead. You gotta remember, is that eventually I'm gonna be running out of leads. And so, if you run out of leads, then you gotta look up and find a possible way in order to progress the run, because... yeah, as I said in Zelda 2, is that you gotta put on your thinking cap in order to get through this game. You gotta think about every single secret chest, every single small thing in order to get your random items. And thankfully, though, the days go by really fast in Ocarina time, so we can just do that. So I want to get Richard back to his home, and I hope I don't get bloopied, because I really need something to go off of. I should have bought Deku Sticks. Actually, when it comes to leaving Kokiri Forest, but that's okay. I'll buy them somewhere else. I'll probably buy them at the merchant once I get home. And remember, I can break those pots at the start of the moat, though, too. Okay, so let's bring Richard home, and hopefully I can get a really good item out of this. Because, like, the pieces of heart locations have been randomized, too. And you saw that, because I already got 2 of them. Okay, so let's see what she gives me. I hope I don't get bloopied. Please don't get me bloopied. Ooh! See, I got the Lens of Truth. I got a lead. I got something. Which was, oh yeah, I should probably tell you this since I happen to be in the area, is that since this run is supposedly supposed to be beatable, there are some items where it's not going to be locked behind where you're not allowed to get it. Like, for example, in the Forest Temple, you need the hookshot in order to get into the temple, right? So that means the hookshot will not be in the Forest Temple. You see what I'm catching on? In order to make this run beatable, the items that you need are not going to be in the places where you can't get to them. Like, for example, with this place right here with the Lens of Truth right here at this door. Well, actually, I can just do that right now, actually. Is that, yeah, so they won't put the Lens of Truth in that treasure box room. You see what I'm saying? It's because you need the Lens of Truth in order to decipher which of the rupee competition... the rupee in the boxes in order to get to the item. You see what I'm saying? Is that they won't put items in... They won't troll you, is what I'm saying. Is that they won't put the items in impossible places where you can't get them eventually. But you do have to put on your thinking cap. So anyways, I emphasized that enough. So I want to get 20 rupees so I can get into that Lens of Truth. Or actually, I think it's 10 rupees if I remember right. But anyways, I'll get 1 more rupee. But yeah, alright, so let's head into the Lens of Truth minigame, actually. And let's use... Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot. I don't have magic. I don't have a magic bar in order to power the Lens of Truth. Right. Yeah, that's the... You know, like Din's Fire and Far Array's Wind and Nairu's Love and the magic meter upgrades? Those are randomized along with the other items, too. So I can't use the Lens of Truth in order to complete that game. And I should have thought of that. I didn't, but I was so excited at the lead, I didn't think that far ahead. But yeah, but I got the Lens of Truth now, so if I can get the magic meter upgrade, then I can start using that in order to get around to certain places. So yeah, this is but it's super fun though too, because it makes an entirely different Ocarina of Time adventure. So I gotta admit, out of all of the emulators, I've actually been looking forward to this one the most, because I love puzzle games. I love thinking about the mysteries and about how to put the pieces together in order to get the results that you want. And Ocarina of Time is definitely going to deliver, because yeah, just with the items just being so scattered about. Oh yeah. Alright, so like heading into the moat. Alright, so let's head back into Zelda's let's see if we can get whatever song we'll get inside the castle. That's probably going to be my next thing, because, well, I hope I can get Zelda's Lullaby, because that will give me access to a few things. Like, for example, with the Sun Song, you know how you got to play Zelda's Lullaby in order to open that grave? But, yeah. Okay, so let's see. So let's get our lovely egg here and wake up Talon here. Alright. I just gotta wait a minute and the chicken will come out. Oh man, this is gonna take quite a bit. Well, I'm so glad that Ocarina of Time gets by its days really quick though. I can skip all this, yay! Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Run back to neglecting your daughter. Oh, okay. Oh, it's kind of funny that she's more worried about like Malin like criticizing him and stuff. But then again though, Talon hasn't been the highest of self-esteem, because if you remember as an adult, he kind of gets bedridden. I remember in Kakariko Village, because I think Impa throws him out because of the horses. I don't know, something with Ganondorf. I don't remember the whole story, but yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so let's get into here, and hopefully we can get a good song out of this. Though my guess is that, well, there's like a 1 in 12 chance. Remember, there are 12 songs that you can learn in the game, so there's a 1 in 12 chance I can learn any of the songs. And I remember I got stuck on my previous run for the longest time because I couldn't learn Soraya's song in order to get Darunia, or to get that Skull Kid, in order to make him like give me the prize, or like get access to the Forest Temple. Because remember Mido, he blocks the way to your Forest Temples without knowing Soraya's song. So I didn't have any way to get to the Forest Temple for a long time, but eventually I couldn't get into it because I swear the game was going against me on this. Was that I couldn't find the hook shot or the long shot. Even when I was going through like a third of the game, I could not find them. I swear the game was just messing with me, trolling with me, that I couldn't find it. Oh yeah, I guess that's one last detail I need to tell you, is that there are some upgrades in this game. Like for example, when you get the bow, then you can get like upgraded arrow slots, and after that, right? So each time that you find a random item, like for example, you know that the long shot is an upgrade of the hook shot, right? So that means if I find one of the two, either of the hook shot locations, then the first one I find will be the hook shot, and then the second one I find is the long shot. You see what I'm saying? Because that would be kind of counterintuitive if you think about it. You can't get the long shot and then get the hook shot, right? So that is a little bit of leniency, but remember, we got like 500 chests and things to check in order to complete this game, and I got like dungeons and stuff, so so yeah, this is gonna be quite the adventure. I got the Lens of Truth though too, but I can't use magic to power it, so yeah, let's go. Man, these guards need to be fired. There's like a guy just like following right behind you, but okay. And yeah, the good news is that they do give you some quest specific items, so you won't get like entirely stuck at some places. Like it will give me the Zelda's letter as soon as I get into here. So remember, the cutscene is skipped. So you see, right to the point. I got Zelda's letter. I already talked to her, so let's just go away. That just made things super fast, didn't it? And then it's gonna skip this too, and then look at what I got. I got Epina's song, which will be useful for getting Epina later on in the adult thing, but it's not practical right now, so though. Or unless I want to be an adult, but I don't want to focus on that right now. Okay, and I want to save like constantly because, well, it's just kind of a precaution because this emulator which I'm using, which is Project 64, it said that it was actually discouraged in using because it says it doesn't work really well with it. So don't mind if I like save like after I find an essential item or something, because yeah, I want to be precautious about that, but thankfully I won't like hard lock the game or anything. It won't like destroy the ROM file or anything. It's just, it happens every once in a while, so don't mind if I do that. So next is actually going to Lon Lon Ranch. I want to if you remember, there's a piece of heart there at the back of the back of the entire thing. I need a decky stick or something because I want to get that golden sculpture left from the tree. And well, I didn't buy some decky sticks. I should have though. Darn it, I really should have. Okay, let's get another random song from Malin while I'm at it. Okay, so let's get my fairy ocarina ready, and let's find out what I'm going to learn from this. Yeah, and yeah, as you can see, as the pause menu is like coming up, you can tell that Project 64 kind of has a problem. Just kind of like keeping up with that. So don't mind if I like save often and such, so I don't like lose my progress or if it seems to crash. Okay, so it's not the most reliable thing to. Okay, so let's see. Yep, here we go. Oh, I actually think I actually did a premonition to this. It was just an entire guess, but remember when I said that the Prelude to Light could be learned instead of Epona Song? Wow, I can't believe I got that right. But at least though, I can warp back to the Temple of Time in order to become an adult really easily, so that'll be really nice. Okay, and I learned your song though too, Epona Song. So. Okay, so let's head towards that piece of heart, towards the windmill in the back. Let me see, is it a windmill? I don't really remember if it's a windmill. Or, no, maybe I'm thinking of Kakariko Village, I guess. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I sure do hope I don't get bloopied again because I need another item to keep going. Oh, and then other options I have is to check the graveyard in Kakariko Village. If you remember, there's a shield there, a Hylian shield. I got the one earlier, ironically, when I was checking Mido's house, but... Alright, so let's see, let's push this. There we go. Okay, so let's pull this back a little bit. Let's get inside. And it looks like it's going to be a piece of heart when you look at it from the outside, but it's going to be a completely different item, so let's go check it out. I'm actually thinking I should probably go get some decky sticks or go buy some, so I could actually have a proper weapon to use. There we go. Look at that, guys. Again, it started off with kind of a bad run or something, but what do you know? I got the Lens of Truth and then I got the magic meter upgrade to accompany it. So, what do you know? We could go and do that minigame back in the Kokiri thing, and then, well, the Lens of Truth will obviously be useful later in the Shadow Temple and with the Spirit Temple. So, that's a really good catch, but I'm probably going to need more items because, remember with the Shadow Temple, you need the Nocturne of Shadow in order to warp there, and then you need Dinspire in order to open it, and then you need the Hook Shot and the Hover Boots in order to get past the first obstacles. So you see, we need 4 essential items right there in order to get into the Shadow Temple for starters, and that's not accounting for the other items. So you see, this is one heck of a wild goose chase that I'm doing around the game world at the moment. But thankfully, though, we have something to go off of. But, yeah, options will be limited at the beginning because, well, I pretty much have nothing. But thankfully, everything's access to me. But in turn, though, that means the items are scattered. Oh, okay. So, whew, it's kind of a big, grand thing, isn't it? It's kind of impressive, actually, just with the whole scope of this entire project. Okay. Let's see, I need to wait for it to get night again. I wish I can learn the sun song, but, well, we can't all choose our randomizers, I guess. Let's see, so there's a wooden boulder. There's kind of a boulder over there, but I don't have any bombs or anything to blow it up. But if there's a random chest down there, which I didn't check, then that could hold an entirely different item though too. So I'm going to wait until it gets night, so that way that treasure chest shop will open up. So I need to wait around a little bit, and oh, I'm so glad that the day to night transition is so fast. It makes this so much nicer. Just kind of a... Let's see, I wonder if can I do the target shop, you know, like with the slingshot? Like, do I require to have the slingshot in order to play that game? Because I don't actually know. I should probably go test it out, though, because in the original game, you have to get the slingshot and you have to get the green spiritual stone, the Kokiri's Emerald, in order to go out into the world where you have access to the game. So I actually don't know. I should probably go try it out. So... that's actually what makes this unique, is that you can see some of the coding stuff that goes on. Okay, so let's head into here and let's use the Lens of Truth in order to get to the end. Okay, so let's see. So we've got my fancy Lens of Truth. Okay. Oh, it is 10 rupees to play. Okay, so we need to start cheating, which is the only way that you can do this. So I'm pretty good with statistics a little bit, so let's see what the chances are that you have of like randomly guessing with the treasure chest without the lens of truth. So it's a 50-50 chance so far, so just keep on dividing it in two. So we have a 50% chance, and we have a 25% chance right here. Like if I happen to not come into here with the lens of truth, this is what the odds are. This is where I'm glad that they didn't troll me either. So now we're down to 12.5%. Okay, so next one, and then this one we have a 6.25% chance. Up to this point if we didn't have the lens of truth, you see? Okay, and then we have one more, and then this makes it at 1.125%. So you see, we have essentially 3% chance of getting this end thing here without the lens of truth. So this is where I'm so glad that they didn't troll me with like not putting the lens of truth in here. So let's see what we got. Disappointment. Oh, I just got bloopied, guys. I got bloopied. All that effort, all that lens of truth, all for that magic meter, all for getting into here, and what do I get? 5 rupees. Oh. Okay, so I'm actually getting pretty close to the half-an-hour mark, but I'm probably going to go check out Kakariko Village actually at first, and then first thing I need to do is make it. No wait. I was thinking about using the Prelude of Light, but that would just warp me into the Temple of Time, so I can't warp out of here. So I got to do the decent thing, I guess. And darn, I wish I had an alternative weapon too, but in order to get this golden Skulltula right here, because I got to start gathering them. So I could start getting the rewards from the Skulltula house. Sorry guys, a lot of waiting, a lot of backtracking. We'll just be like Link here and just chill out here for a second and well, I guess just kind of analyze things so far. And I gotta say, up to this point, I'm super impressed with this Ocarina of Time randomizer, because there are so many things that you have to account for, and putting the right random items in the right random places, because as soon as you put like the Megaton hammer, like or like putting the hookshot or something within the forest temple, then that's it, your run's over. And having to code for that's got to be some very impressive coding process in order to get something like that to work. So I'm actually really impressed that they were actually able to make up something in the first place. Oh, hello, Golden Skulltula. All I can do is just stare at you until the sun rises. So, I wish I can beat you. Oh, wait, can I use rocks? Can I use rocks in order to hurt this Golden Skulltula? Never hurts to try. Let's see. Oh, come on. Oh, rocks don't hurt it. Are you serious? I can't stone him to death? Well, that's kind of a disappointment, don't you think? Ugh. The limitations of having no swords and a decky stick, am I right? So close, yet so far. Okay. Well, probably in the next part, I'll probably go stock. Oh, wait. I can get some decky sticks in here. Well, that's true. I better. Let's see. Is there decky sticks? Yes, you do. You do sell them. You know, what do you know? For the first time in my life, I had to buy some decky sticks. Because you never buy decky sticks. You never have to. Because those deku babas, I think at the start of the Kokiri Forest, before you get into the Great Deku Tree, it stockpiles you with them. So, eee. Well, at least I got a weapon. Well, a very limited weapon, but at least I can get the Golden Skulltula here. So it's a start. I'll go with that. I'll take any advantage that I can get. So I'm actually getting really close here to the half-an-hour mark. So I actually don't think I'm going to make it to Kakariko Village, actually. So I guess the big climatic thing about this random things is that I can stick this. I can stick this thing up the Golden Skulltula's ass, I guess. And there you go. That's about it. That's the big dramatic finish for this first part of the Ocarina of Time thing, isn't it? Huh. Well, what else is there to say? I got a few leads right here. Got a couple of songs, the Epona song and the Prelude of Light. So, got one Golden Skulltula, a couple of heart pieces, and oh, I forgot to explain about this. Is that you probably haven't noticed this? That's because I didn't bring up the screen yet. Is that if you happen to open the door to the Temple of Time, is that you're automatically rewarded with a medallion, because remember, you can automatically just transfer from a kid to an adult. So you get a medallion just for doing that for the first time. So automatically they give you a medallion if you happen to open the Temple of Time. So don't be so surprised or anything that I got the light medallion. And they're all randomized though too. So I could get any spiritual stone and it could be shuffled with the rest of the medallions and vice versa. So alright, I guess that's about it. I suppose I got Zelda's letter, I got Lens of Truth and a magic meter upgrade and a Hylian shield. So, oh yeah, and the silver scale, can't forget that. That was the very first clue. And I guess that's it. So, am I excited? Definitely. So, that's the way that this mystery is going to start out. So, I'll see you guys and we'll head back to the original Legend of Zelda, and I guess that's it. So, I will see you guys later.